A royal messenger was returning from Rome when he encountered a young Christian woman. Her name was Taogenesta. She was taken to the palace of the king of India and made a servant. But when the king's son fell gravely ill, near death, this servant girl prayed. And with the sign of the cross, the boy was healed. From that day, she was lifted from servant to mistress of the palace. But the true miracle was yet to come. For when the king marched into battle, a whirlwind of darkness fell upon him. The sun vanished. Fog and storm surrounded him. He was certain of defeat. Then he remembered how the servant girl healed his son with the cross. So, trembling, the king raised his hand, and 3 times he made the sign of the cross. Suddenly, the storm broke. The fog vanished, and in the heavens, a radiant cross of light appeared. That day, the king was victorious. But it was not his sword that saved him. It was the sign of the cross. Overcome with awe, the king returned to his palace and fell at the feet of Saint Taogenesta. "Make me and my family Christians," he pleaded. The saint answered wisely, "Send word to the Roman Emperor Honorius. Ask him to send you a priest." The king obeyed. And when Emperor Honorius heard of the miracles and the faith of the Indian people, he rejoiced. He sent a priest who baptized the king, his family, and the entire royal army. Saint Taogenesta received a blessing from the priest, and the priest also received a blessing from her. When the Roman emperor learned that India had accepted Christ, he ordered the Archbishop of Rome to consecrate a bishop for that land. So, Bishop Arsenius was ordained and sent to India. There, he joined Saint Taogenesta. Together, they laid the foundation for a great church. But their joy turned to sorrow, for they lacked the materials to finish it. Yet in that same land, there stood a grand pagan temple, filled with towering marble pillars. Saint Taogenesta lifted her hands in prayer, and then, before the eyes of all, the pillars of the pagan temple shook, uprooted themselves, and moved, as if carried by invisible angels, to the place where the church was to rise. The pillars set themselves firmly in place, and the church was completed. When the remaining pagans saw this miracle, they too rushed to be baptized. Saint Taogenesta established a monastery in India. There she raised many nuns, trained them in prayer, and guided them in holy service. After a life of sacrifice and miracles, she departed this world in peace. Her legacy lived on, a woman who brought light to a kingdom, and who carried the power of the cross into a land of idols. The life of Saint Taogenesta teaches us that God uses the humble to do the impossible. A servant girl became the instrument of salvation for a king, a kingdom, and a nation. And the sign of the cross, not the sword, not wealth, not power, shattered the darkness. What darkness surrounds you today? What storms block your path? Make the sign of the cross, and remember Saint Taogenesta. For the light of Christ shines brightest in the hour of battle. May her prayers and blessings be upon us all. Amen.